Shalom, everyone. Um, I thought that I would take some time to share some a review of this movie, The Book of Clarence. You know, I'm seeing a lot of people giving input regarding it. Most of the negative input that I see are from people that actually did not even see the movie, but have an opinion about what they think the movie is about. And we saw the movie Friday, opening Friday. I wanted to be one of the first to check it out, and I'm trying to think what I had. You know what? I was very excited because based off the visuals that I see, because this was the first real depiction of the ancient Israelites, specifically the Israelites of first century CE in Jerusalem. And just the aesthetics alone made me so excited to see this. Okay. So I'm going to start right there. Okay. That was perfect. Perfect. And I'm like, I knew that it would anger a lot of people that have been deceived into thinking that we, the so-called African Americans or the Africans of the diaspora, are not the true Israelites. But we are in a time of awakening right now. And it's way past time that the world knew who we really are. Okay, so just on that fact alone, I have to admit I was really excited about it. Okay, now in terms of the biblical slash historical dynamics that were in the movie, well, I'm a Hebrew Israelite Moreh. Okay, I have a pretty extensive understanding of history, specifically of that particular time frame, and so I was not going to judge any discrepancies of the movie based off of what the director James Samuel, based off of what he didn't know or didn't research or whatever. My only thing that I was looking for was um a well written story, regardless of anything else. That's the only thing that I cared about, because I mean, at the end of the day, I never met the brother. The brother did not have the I was not bought into this brother's life to teach him certain things, like for instance, the name of the Messiah, for instance, he used Jesus, which was never the name of any Israelite that was in Jerusalem some 2,000 years ago. Okay. So, typically I would have an issue with that. But like I say, he didn't know, so that was all good. And the fact that you got someone named Clarence, which I'm pretty sure there was no Israelites named Clarence that was there in Jerusalem some 2,000 years ago. Uh, I'm like, hey, why didn't you just name him? Why didn't you just name it the Book of Isaiah? Oh well, there is a Book of Isaiah, so that might not have been good. But I was thinking that would have been Isaiah Thomas. You know, the character Clarence is he is a depiction of the twin brother of Didymus or Thomas. So that's the way that he wrote it in there. And it was all good. I think that because that the movie is kind of comedic, I think that's why that he named them Clarence, because that in itself is absolutely um hilarious. Clarence, okay. All right, so this movie was, first of all, the cinematography in the movie is on point. Okay, the movie was filmed in a small town in Italy, but it passed pretty decent for Jerusalem. It really did. So I'm like, that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. Let me see what else. What else? The You know what? I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest. Uh, the fact that I see that there's a lot of, oh, I got locks going everywhere. The fact that the honesty of this movie, especially with us being finally portrayed on a big screen as being Israelites, angered a lot of people. And so coming out the theater, I was thinking, wow, this was really a good story. It was really told, well. There's certain scenes in the movie that I didn't like too much because I felt that they were going too hard for the joke. But I think that James Samuel, I think that he really wanted to convey some wisdom and understanding and portraying us the way we were supposed to be portrayed historically in this movie, that he probably felt that it would have went down better as a dramedy, because it is drama. It isn't just comedy. There's drama in this movie. There are some very, very, let me see, I'm trying not to give spoilers, which is the reason why I didn't do this video right after I came out the theater, because I'm like, damn, what can I say about it without giving away a lot of things? But at any rate, Benedict, what's his name? Benedict, I forget his last name. Doctor Strange dude, right? He appears in this movie, and the way that he kind of what happens with him toward the end of the movie, I didn't care for that scene that much. I didn't care for that scene that much. I think I understood what they were trying to do with that scene, but I kind of, when I saw it, I didn't really care for it, because I'm like, this aspect of the Messiah, I didn't want to see that. I'm be honest with you, but it's there, and it was there as a joke, so it was what it was. Um, what else? What else can I say about it? Um, there's one actor, and I forget his name. I should have wrote his name down before I did it. He was in that show BMF with Meek, with what's his name? Say Meek. The gangster show. He plays a heavy in that TV show. I think it's called BMF, right? Um, anyway, he plays a role as a heavy in this movie, whereas Clarence, I'm trying to think, because there are two heavies in the movie, and I don't want to get them confused because they kind of look alike a little bit. The one heavy was a guy who owned slaves, and he had them, they were gladiator slaves. So was that him? Okay. You know what? I think that was him. I think that was the role that he had in the movie. Um, yeah, he was real good in his role. Matter of fact, everybody was pretty stellar in their role. Um, the movie was a good movie, man. I think that everybody should stop what they doing and go to the theater and watch this movie once or even twice. Because I got to go see this movie again, actually. I have to go see this movie again. The director of the movie, he wrote all the music to the movie, and I never seen a director that actually does the soundtrack for a movie. It may have happened before, I'm not sure, but and this guy, he's as I understand, I think he's Seals, the actor Seals' little brother. Very, very, very talented guy. Very, very talented. And I'm almost sure that as much as I got out this movie, I bet if I go watch it again, I'm gonna be like, oh my damn, that was too deep, because there are a lot of gems. This movie has a lot of gems. Um, damn, I'm forgetting everybody's name. But the main actress in the movie, to uh Tia, to I forget her name. Damn, I'm horrible. Anyway, the one that played Mary Magdalene, she was excellent. She was excellent in the movie. Um, Everybody was just good in this movie, man. And I am very, very, very hard on movies, okay? You're not gonna throw anything in front of me and I'm gonna be like, oh, that was a good movie. There are a lot of movies that people consider good, but I'm like, oh, that movie was horrible. I'm gonna give you one just so you can see exactly where I'm at with it. Just because it popped up in my head. Django. A lot of people like the Django. I couldn't stand that movie. And I um had the same view of it or view of Quentin Tarantino that Cat Williams did. I remember Cat Williams said, "Man, if I ever met Quentin Tarantino, it's not gonna be good." And no, actually, he said that about. I think he might have said that about Jamie Foxx, but I said that about Quentin Tarantino because the movie to me was an insult to our heritage. I remember going to the theater, getting tense because I think I was about to see something very dramatic and very hard in regarding slavery, and he made a joke of it. But people that are not really that deep as I am, they're like surface thinkers. They like, oh, are you kidding? Jamie Foxx went and showed them white people, them white slave masters was what I'm like, man, it's way deeper than that. But I can't get somebody to see it if they're not there, so it's fine. But I thought that movie was an embarrassment to be honest with you. Okay, but I'm just giving you just a sense of how I view movies. You're just not gonna throw something in front of me and I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, it was good, just because I can get a few laughs out of it or whatever. But the movie was very well. Um, and Lakeith, Lakeith, I think that this is a role of a lifetime for him, to be honest with you. I think that this is a role of a lifetime for Lakeith. I honestly do. I'm pretty sure that he may have other roles coming out where he will do just as good, but this one right here was a very, very good role for him. I don't see anybody else that could have played him. Um, I can't pronounce his name. David Oyelowo or whatever his name is. I think his name is David. He plays John the Baptist in the beginning of the movie. Even though his scene was very funny, I don't think that was a good I think somebody else could have played John the Baptist a little bit better than him because I see John the Baptist as a brother that might have locks just like these locks because he's out there in the wilderness. He wouldn't have had no shortcut haircut and like that. He would have been out there in the wilderness, long, lock hair, and with the camel skin and all of that. He would have looked like he lived in the wilderness. And David did not look like that. He still looked it like he was, lived in proper civilization or whatever. So that's the only issue that I had with that. I should have took some notes, man. I should have took some notes because again, I can say a lot about certain scenes in the movie. There's just one scene in the movie though that everybody that I seen reviews kind of like this scene. It's a scene where they're in a club and they do a production, a dance number. And when I think of Jerusalem at first century CE, that was just so legit to me. So legit that we would have absolutely been getting down just like that. Um, but there's a scene in the opening scene, there's an opening scene where in the streets of Jerusalem they show the 12 disciples and they come on the scene in two rows of six with the Messiah coming up from the rear, coming up between them. And I was like, boy, oh boy, IUIC should love that scene, seriously, because it kind of reminded me of something like that, where they're in a certain order or whatever, certain military type dynamic when they showed up. So I'm like, that was pretty interesting. And like I say, we're talking about us. So 2,000 years ago, we can read in the scriptures the main key things. But as far as actual life in Jerusalem at that time, um, he really did give a real good depiction of what I can imagine what it would have been like. Oh, man, that's the other thing. The whole dynamic between this nation of Northeast Africa, y'all. Okay. I have to say this. I have to say this because a lot of people don't understand that Israel, Jerusalem is Northeast Africa. Okay. It ain't no such thing as a Middle East because, matter of fact, even the Suez Canal wasn't even built 2,000 years ago. Okay. And biblically, if you can't understand that that's Northeast Africa, then understand that biblically it's called the land of Ham. And when you think of Ham, that son of Noah, even the hardest core Christians understand Ham to be a melanated black people, okay? So biblically, that's what that area is called, the land of Ham, okay? And that particular land of Ham, i.e., Canaan, was given to Israelites that were also came up out of a melanated region, okay? But the whole dichotomy, I'm gonna throw that word out, okay, make y'all think I know some stuff. The dichotomy between the Roman rulership and the Israelites was so real. And it's so real because when you understand scriptures, when you really understand scriptures, the whole dynamic of Jewish people, like they call themselves Jewish people, um, being there in Israel and having that type of dynamic, it does not get no realer than what I saw in this movie between the Romans, Gentiles, and the Israelite people. To see it being depicted was just wow. It was just it was something else. It was something else, you know. But at any rate, before I end this, and I should have ended this about 5 minutes ago. In February during Black History Month, that's what they gave us, Black History Month. Right here on our channel, right here, we're doing a 7-part series that's gonna really get deep to explain just how real that imagery was that you saw in the movie, okay? Because watching the movie, all you can do is if you don't have an understanding, you're gonna have an opinion about blaspheme. Just say, oh, and concerning blaspheme, a lot of people saying blaspheme, and what they really are talking about is the depiction of Israelites being us in the movie, but they say, no, that's not what I'm talking about, blaspheme. I'm talking about the blaspheme of this Clarence guy, him supposed to be the Messiah, whatever. Here's the thing with that, okay? When you read the writings, you will understand that there were a lot of Israelites that were coming on the scene claiming to be the Messiah, okay? So this movie is taken from the perspective of a brother that lived during that time in Israel, and he thought that the one way that he could come up was to absolutely pose as a Messiah to make money so he could get out of debt. This was the point of view of this person that happened to live during a time when everything else is going on in terms of, I hate to call it Christianity because it's not really Christianity. Back then it was called the way, or the way of the Nazarenes, okay? When I think of Christianity, especially in 2024 or in the past 1700 years, it's really a whole nother pagan religion that was based off of, again, first century CE Jerusalem, okay? Or what we read in the Bible, which really don't even match at all what Christianity today teaches is the message of Jesus Christ, you know. But at any rate, that's a whole nother lesson. I talk more of that on this channel here. But let me end it by saying again that this movie was a great, great movie that should absolutely be seen and supported by all. I don't care nothing about Oscar awards and Golden Globe awards, whatever, but I absolutely would love to see. And it's really neither here nor there for me, but if Soul Train Awards and BET Awards can really, really show this brother and this movie some love, I would appreciate it, because as a people, we really, really need to see this. And again, check out this channel, like and subscribe to this channel. And February 3rd, which is a Saturday, which is the true Sabbath that Yahshua, the one that the world called Jesus, he kept that Sabbath and taught his followers to keep the Sabbath as well. Matter of fact, let me scratch that. He didn't teach his followers to keep the Sabbath because they were already keeping Sabbath. Okay. But those of us that follow him 2,000 years later, that's what we do. We teach them to walk even as he walked, which is what First John 2nd chapter, verse 4 says. Open up your scriptures to read that. But anyway, yeah, check us out. Beginning February 3rd, Sabbath or Saturday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will be doing this series, and this is an eye-opening series. The series is going to be straight up coming directly out the scripts. I said strips, scripts, line upon line, precept upon precept. Okay, it's gonna be an eye opener. Okay, no matter how much you think you know the Bible, I got something for you. All right. So with that said, hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Hope you guys go out with an open mind and check out this production, the Book of Clarence. And until then, I'll see you guys later. Shalom.